Move to call to order the Park and Rec meeting for August 23rd, 2018. Move to approve the minutes from July 25th, 2018 regular session.
Second. All in favor, say
All in
aye.
favor, say aye.
Aye. All opposed, say no. All right. Next is the staff report.
Yes. Since our last meeting, we continued to work on the 9/11 memorial, got it to a point where it should be done on time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's everything left is change, or is allegiance for us, or somebody, volunteers.
We started the Diamond Crest Trail hauling millings up to Diamond Crest. It's coming together very nicely. We've done some work on the exterior of City Hall, got new siding put up, power washing. Fixed water leaks in the campground. Had a meeting to discuss the haunted campground activity in the Smith Fork Campground on October 27th. Laid out soccer fields, painted lines, football fields, per that contract. Prep fields for adult softball. Adult softball was supposed to start tonight. We ended up with 6 teams for adult softball. Youth soccer, we've got 127 in 3 different divisions. Soccer clinic registrations are still open. Dog park, the county sent over an MOU. We're still kind of in the review phase of that. The Park Foundation asked Cynthia about that again this week, and it's still on her desk.
Yep.
So that's the staff report.
Okay. I move we discuss the recommendations for Heritage Park renovation phase 1.
Second.
So, Brett, you want to kind of go through what you guys got
Yes.
here?
You see on the pie chart here, everything mentioned, we made the list, and then as it was mentioned in other emails, we got 27 email responses, which is good. There's, I think, 3,700 exposures on Facebook. Plus, it was in the newspaper, and so people heard about it. We've got a lot of things that we discussed at this meeting last month. Slides, tube slides, digging equipment, car-themed rockers, the climbers, nets and walls, animal form spring rockers. People identified shade as a need, sensory-friendly equipment, separate toddler area, more swings, elephant slide, kind of like what's at Penguin Park. People want to see a nice surface, a unitary surface, not loose fill. That does right into the inclusive playground. A lot of people mentioned inclusive playgrounds. And it wasn't just folks that had kids that needed them. It was, some of it was just my kids had a lot of fun on playgrounds that happened to be inclusive. So that was something we heard a lot. Inclusive swings. Roller slide was mentioned once. Restroom, spray park, got quite a few mentions. Sit-on zipline vending machines. Tire swing, flower, kind of grass area, merry-go-round, water fountain, standing swings, water hole streams, musical instruments. Those are becoming more popular on composite playground equipment, so we heard about those. And kid-powered energy. That's more or less electronic components in playgrounds that are run off of the kids pedaling or doing an activity. And then dog park was also mentioned, surprisingly, at Heritage Park. So that's kind of our feedback. The graph puts things in perspective. Spray park, nice surfacing, inclusive, musical instruments, swings, climbers, toddler area, animal rockers are kind of the highlights.
So I think the biggest areas we kind of talked about at our last meeting. I think as far as what I would like to recommend that we do for the board budget is the restroom, water fountain stuff we put in next year's budget and just focus this year's budget on the equipment itself.
Playground equipment.
Yeah. So then we could look at, and the shade is going to be there because there's trees. The benches, Jeff and I have been looking at some some of those for some other stuff around town too. So I don't think I'd include that in the RFP. I think we could do that in next year's budget also. So I really want to focus the dollars we've allocated for this year on the actual equipment and services. So we had talked about doing a scaled down spray feature, inclusive the toddler area, and I like these little, like the musical instrument, the electric, kid powered stuff. If you look at the way they're doing it in the schools with the new equipment, it's more spread out also. So there's not as many things all piled on top of each other that have to run between the equipment. And there's this stuff with the climbing wall nets type of stuff. So I think we hit on those last meeting too, but I think this confirms kind of what we were going towards.
Should we just make a list with components we'd like to see included?
Yeah. So because is Dan would draft the RFP?
Yeah, I'll get with Dan to get the RFP, and that'll happen after planning and zoning.
Planning and zoning.
This to jab right away,
Yeah.
to be on planning and zoning.
Yeah, but we can still do it, get the draft RFP going. So climbing walls and nets, there we.
Yeah, I think that's pretty high.
Yeah. And then,
My public comment that just walked out, that was the big comment he wanted to make was.
and then a small splash park spray area, some sort of water.
Do we want, Danny mentioned misters at the last.
Yeah,
meeting.
misters or
That to
something.
me seems pretty neat as far as there's not, I think.
Or
we
even
just
one of the ones
plug
that-
to it and that's it.
Well,
There's not a lot of
misters.
wastewater or anything like
Yeah,
that.
but there's like a couple ones that would spray out of the ground,
Okay,
just like a couple little jets, two or
Yeah,
three.
those are easier and cheaper than a.
but that's what I'm thinking, we won't need a permit from DNR to run like a mist type
Yeah,
thing, off a water fountain.
Yeah, something like that, because we're doing a bigger spray park in town, so if we can do, the misters or something like that, I think that covers us on that. Musical instruments, I think that something makes noise, I think that's cool, especially around the toddler area.
And the toddler area, I think, is something that we've heard a lot as well,
Yeah,
separate for ages 2 to 5.
And then the kid powered, I think that's good. I don't see a lot of merry-go-rounds anymore, I don't know.
There are some newer types of spinning equipment.
There's
That
like
doesn't take up a lot, but then again, we did get some old school merry-go-round is
But there's the ones that the ones I've been seeing mostly, the spinning type stuff, there's on the swing set that has the bigger net that the kids can lay down in.
and that would hit on an inclusive,
Yeah, that's the inclusive part.
that's an inclusive swing.
Yeah,
Maybe that'd be something we want to put in.
I think that's would cover us for something that makes them spin around and get sick, but also is inclusive in a swing.
You did some looking on the things you saw.
Yeah, it was mainly just, because Danny was talking about climbing equipment. That was her big thing. So,
I think we got,
just like, looking in the book, I don't know, I thought this playground was just cool with all the different,
yeah.
I don't know, it would just really, it would keep the kids like engaged. Because like when you have like little stuff, they kind of like stop and they mess with it, and it's not really like them in play, in action and stuff.
Yeah, I think the separation of the toddler area and not trying to all cram it into one playground, and you can do something that looks more like that. And that's more like rope and not a lot of metal, right, on the climb.
Yeah, they're fixed climbers as well as the 3D net climbers, rock walls.
Yeah, less falling and busting your head open than when we were kids.
And the metal, it gets like the merry-go-round, sorry. They have one in Gower, but their park is very old. And it's really fun, like when you go down there, you see a lot of kids on it. But like the metal gets so hot, it's just not put to use
think
a lot
Gower's
of the
got a
times in
brand
the summer. What?
I think Gallery's put in brand new playgrounds
They did?
beginning of summer.
Oh, at their schools. There's one,
The city park.
City Park.
They have a new, I think it's like red, white, and blue. It looks pretty nice.
Down at Penguin Park, the spinning equipment is like a one-person get on it and spin it type thing. It's not what I would call merry-go-round.
Yeah, I just, like the metal monkey bars and stuff, I think that's kind of going away from most of the playgrounds, and it's more the ropes and the netting. And
How big's the area again? We don't have a ton of room up there, right?
Right.
we've got more than we have at where the current playground is.
Yeah, I know that's a relatively small area.
But that's something to probably keep in mind where you're looking at putting a road in off of Main Street and a few parking spots, restaurant facility there.
Well, I don't even know if we need to put much of a parking if we extend the parking.
Right. And all of this equipment will have a use zone.
We could do 2,500 square feet pretty reasonably from what I was looking at with Watkins drawings.
I don't think we'll be able to afford to put the playground equipment in the middle area for sure.
Juanita Road and some of that area that we were talking about needing to use. Then one of the things we mentioned last time was the slide.
Yeah, the concrete slide. Because that gets it off of the equipment, it puts it into the hill side with the steps up as well.
Okay.
Because that's just formed concrete, polished concrete.
I want to be careful in doing that we are not manufacturing playground equipment.
No.
But-
There's.
Yeah, more or less, it's.
I would put it in the RT.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have to get there on project.
Not doing that one. I've done my concrete work.
How's that sound? We get the highlights and kind of see what gets brought back to us.
Do we need to put anything in there that says sensory-friendly equipment, or
We
like
want-
putting the musical and the electrical, does that cover sensory?
I would think so.
Do we want to
Do you want a shade structure over all this, or out in the middle where this playground is likely gonna be, there's likely not a lot of shade?
What I would like to look at is incorporating that in with the
Into
benches.
Okay, and that's why I'm wondering if there's a
Or if there's
composite
a,
system, if it's an integrated.
well, that's the thing, is we can do a composite that, like, the old one had the thing on it, but it would get full of wasps.
On the
and
wall
different
part,
things. Is there, I know they have the canvas ones, in the metal, can we look at possibly something like that, where?
I wonder if we should put that as integrated into
Yeah.
the.
Give it as an option.
Yeah. Something that's not gonna get wasps and
Right.
birds building into it, if it's something that, like those sails, but they're flat, they're colored, they're good for
Should have a
shade.
shaded equipment.
Keep it
And then,
90 degrees.
Cover benches, that's a good idea.
The ones we're looking at for the covered benches, they've got a solar cell on them, and it's got a place you can plug your phone in, and it's got a place where you put some signage in it, and we're looking at those, some other stuff too, so.
Good. All right. Want to make a motion on this?
Anything else we need to add?
There wasn't a lot of discussion about the in-law runners. I kind of, seen the link, they're not expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just not expensive.
Should we notate that? I mean, that would be something I would guess.
A lot of people have asked about it, because they used to have it at the old,
It's retro.
yeah, and it was at the old, by the swim beach, I think they used to have them in there, because I was,
there's 3 or 4 of them.
I think Amber said something about it too, so yeah. Put it in, I mean, they're fun, and then, we can always, like I said,
Do we want to mention surfacing at all?
yeah, put
We
something
want
in
a
there.
unitary surface.
We want a pour in place type of, something that lasts long, and we want a good warranty on this stuff too. No 1-year warranties. 5, 10 years, whatever you get out of it.
You know, I've often wondered on surfacing, before being part of this commission, it can be expensive, I don't think, to buy a machine that grinds up rubber. I mean, and people give the tires.
Yeah,
So so just to kind of put it in perspective, I was looking at getting the machine to make the 3D printer filament, because the schools always need it. And you can get the pellets from like TerraCycle where they do recycling. Just a little machine that sits on the desk that makes the filament for the 3D printers is $5,000.
if you're doing.
So think about that in the industrial
Yeah,
size.
I was not thinking it'd be a
Yeah,
price
right.
like that.
And the machines, because when they do the tires, there's a machine that cuts the bead out of the tire,
Yeah.
and then there's a machine that shreds everything, and then there's a machine that eats everything up, so you get all the metal out of the tire, and then you add some, it's a few stage process.
It's one of
But
those
yeah,
things
you
where
would think
it's,
it would be cheap, and essentially it is, but after all those other steps are done, it is pretty cheap.
so, cool. Anything else? I move that we get this to P and Z and the board and start working on an RFP.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Cool. So this will be on P and Z agenda, I'll be P and Z if they have any questions, so you don't probably need to work on it.
Yeah, I'll just get this to Jack and they'll
And
get
then
into
we'll-
the master
And then we'll try to get this, we'll have this on the September 10th work session for the Alderman meeting. So we'll get it going. Very good. I asked Danny to put these discussion for 2019 committee priorities for the 2019 budget, being that the next couple Alderman meetings, September 10th is the budget review. So we don't have another one of these meetings until after that meeting. So we kind of talked a little bit about some of the stuff we want to ask for in Heritage. Are there any other things that we want to ask for in Heritage? We talked about a basketball court, possibly at Heritage. Do you want to ask about another baseball field, or do you want to wait on that a little bit, or?
I think we can pull together what those numbers would look like.
For an engineered, good drainage type of baseball field? At Heritage, or do you want to talk about making a revision to the master plan?
I think that's a discussion that we're eventually gonna get to, which is why I think we take it in stages and, you know.
Here are some things that we've, just smaller projects we talked, that have come up. Fixing the trail between the existing playground equipment and the parking lot, the tennis courts at Heritage Park.
Okay.
Okay, we put 15,000 in for that. This is just between me and Cynthia going over some stuff. Capping the safety surface at the Spillway Playground.
Okay.
$20,000 in for that. And then Remembrance Park landscaping and irrigation system, we got 7,500 in for that.
Okay.
For next year. That's where we're at. You guys have seen that.
So for Heritage, instead of fixing the trail between the existing equipment and the new equipment, we look at mill and replace or overlay of that entire parking lot, like extending the parking closer to that hill, and at the same time, as we put in an asphalt-based basketball court.
And I think when you look at drainage on that too.
Yeah,
It's
the
one of
drainage.
those things that we saw
Yeah.
from 2008.
Yeah. So since we know we're going to do new equipment, instead of just Band-Aiding the trail, let's look at.
Because right now, we're pumping the water out of there.
Right.
After it rains, because it sits.
Yeah, I'd rather us fix it right,
Mhm.
and at the same time, if we're gonna have asphalt out there, if we can do the basketball court at the same time, near the bandstand, outside of the baseball field.
So extend the parking lot, the mill overlay.
And do we wanna talk about the trail between the baseball diamonds over to the other parking overflow?
Oh, yeah,
Put a trail between the two of them,
Right
so
between the
people
two.
know.
so that if you park over there, you got a crew cut.
And I did get that sign, just this
Yeah.
week, so we'll have a sign put up on the back of the.
You're potentially making that bridge a little more, I mean, right now, people don't notice it, because there's no bridge, there's no path, unless you know that parking's back there, you don't know it's back there, so potentially a trail back to there. One of the discussions I had, so I think that's all in here, is there anything else in Heritage? We said the bathroom, or doing something, with making the bathroom year-round, or potentially putting a bathroom up on the hill, so. But can we also look at numbers for making that bathroom year-round? Adding a small HVAC unit, or like what we did down around the square. Because it's already got a wheelchair ramp and stuff on it too, so. And then also, did you want to look at security camera or anything like that? I know I talked to Chief about that, putting some security down at
Right.
Heritage.
We'll try that down at Smith Fork first and see how that stuff works.
I mean, we can do some work, we do at Heritage, it's whatever one you think is, I think, you guys got a pretty good fence around Smith's Fork, but I think if that's something we're gonna look at out there too.
Okay.
Anything else in Heritage? you think of?
Mill and overlay, existing lot, drainage, extend parking, basketball court,
And the trail.
trail.
So on benches, I know we talked about how are we funding those?
Maybe something we put in here, so you wanna put in a couple, we think 4?
I think four's a good start.
Okay, because right now we only have 2, or we have 4 around the existing parking, right? Or the existing park, maybe 3 or 4. So yeah, we look at.
You want to put it
4.
up on the hill, leave the equipment, okay.
And we could do a mix of the charging station ones and the something diversified metal or somebody.
What about, picnic table?
have some down there,
Well, I mean, up by the new stuff.
yeah.
And the reason I say that is if you got
Yeah,
kids playing at lunch and picnic type of
Yeah.
stuff, and to not have to walk down the hill to do it,
yeah, I think,
or to try and spread it out on the bench.
let's not try and put that in our budget, let's try and get that, I presented to Rotary last week,
Oh, about the shelter?
about the shelter and other park improvements, because they can do some fundraising, and there's a 3-to-1 match this year on Rotary funds, or for next year. And the guy who started Rotary here in Smithville is the owner of Diversified, or he's there, started Diversified Fabricator, so, they might be able to get us some of that stuff too. I don't, let me go that route first, and we have to do separate
Sure.
budget later.
To your earlier question about baseball fields, I almost wonder if we, as we have our feet on the ground a little bit more, we start to have that discussion and, you know, where is it? Is it heritage? Is there enough room there to do what we truly want to do in this community, or do we need to look elsewhere?
Yep. I agree. And I think some of that's gonna come out of our new assistant city administrator, CDC talks, and things we wanna do around that, so. I think we just keep the baseball diamonds as they are for now, and that'd be a good mid-year discussion. So I had a meeting, with Kenny Purdue, and another gentleman in Kansas City on sustainable parks and, edible landscapes. So St. Luke's is doing it now, I don't know if your hospital's doing it, but St. Luke's is doing a project right now on edible landscapes, and a few other businesses and parks are starting to do that as well. A couple of cities in the metro are doing that, where they take a park like Wildflower Park, that's not developed right now, it's 6 acres, it's a neighborhood park, it's gonna be by a school, and they plant, educational plants for the kids, fruits, vegetables, trees and stuff, where they can walk through the park, learn about it, but also, you know, pick from the garden that's in the park. If you live in Wildflower, you can walk up there, grab some tomatoes, you know, that kind of thing. So is there any appetite for having Kenny kind of give us a presentation on that for some of our undeveloped parks?
I would think that'd be.
Because I think we have 3 that are within walking distance of our schools. So we've got Wildflower Park that's right by Eagle Heights. We've got Hawthorne Park that's undeveloped, that's right by Maple. And then we have the one that's up on the hill within walking distance from the high school, right? Up by Hills of Shannon, kind of.
Yeah, you have to get across 92.
Okay. But, and then I think, we could maybe do something else with the head in that area.
Honestly, maybe an opportunity part of the schools, we can go on their property.
Yeah. Well, there's also another lot that the, one of the subdivisions is looking at too, so. But anyway, so at least those 2 to start, Hawthorne and Wildflower. I think it's an inexpensive way to develop those parks, but it's also something we can partner with the schools on, where they can walk to the parks, and also the people who live there will be able to walk to those parks and have educational opportunities, have opportunities to garden if they can't really do garden in their yard, and do some cool stuff. And then you can put goats at Wildfire and not have to worry about the core.
We'll get them to Diamond Crest.
In Diamond Crest mentioned. So, yeah, that tree line right there, you know, on the south side of Wildflower Park, because that's one of the things I hear, you know, that's a long way for you guys to get equipment up there to mow. If we can do something with the trail throughout there, and maybe eventually put in a little bit of equipment, but make it so you guys can at least walk around the park and have something other than just grass field. So I could arrange Kenny to come up and present, if you guys want to hear about that. I think it's an inexpensive way to do some stuff, so. Unless you think we need to put a budget for playground equipment there, I don't know. There's also a pond there too, right? Is that part of the park?
Okay.
I think there's opportunities for maybe a shelter there or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like just do a little shelter and some picnic tables by that pond or something. What do shelter houses normally run?
10 by 10, roughly 10-6. 16 by 16 was around 15.
Is that prevailing wage, or is that, would it be a little less?
Yeah,
than
that was for a ballpark figure.
Or is that doing
Probably
it,
a little less than that.
that doing it in-house, or is it?
No, that's done.
So like the line, the Rotary Road.
Yeah.
So do you want to try and do something like that at
Yeah, I think
Wildfire
it's
is
especially
started.
with new houses in,
Yeah, because there's gonna be another development going south.
225 houses,
Is that what it is?
yeah. Got a letter about that.
Okay. So what's up? What's in Wildflower right now? I think so, I mean, we're talking between Eagle Heights, what they're developing around there, Wildflower, and then the 225 we got a letter about that could potentially be there. You're talking 600-700 houses in that.
Well, that's
that
Eagle Heights is the new one there.
Eagle, yeah, Eagle, whatever they call it.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
So yeah, I mean, between that, Wildflower, and then your small neighbor pockets, and then
Won't those developments have a
Park Bay.
Right, wouldn't that be a way to maybe pay for some?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
it's too,
especially if it's gonna connect,
Yeah.
because essentially you just have that tree line that's
Yeah.
separated.
because they won't do a parkland dedication, they'll do a park fee. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, we could put it in budget and say that those dollars are allocated to do a 10 by 16 shelter for that park that could be rentable also.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that, if you put a small set of equipment, something, you know, like the set that's.
Maybe that's where we
on
put
it.
the animal rockers. Just line through them up, we can race. Okay, so yeah, I think we could put a little bit in budget for Wildflower, maybe like 25,000 or something to do something up there, or at least recommend it. And then Diamond Crest, the millions, are we gonna, if we roll it, do you think that's gonna be good enough surface for now, or?
I gotta figure out where we're going to, because I don't wanna put it where they're gonna, I need to give a jack on that. They
Yeah.
said they're getting ready to do some stuff up there.
The
Figure out kind of where we're.
parking lot and stuff.
Right, and then we wanna connect, on the south side through the Clay Creek as well. So, yeah, we gotta start it. But yeah, I think that was settled in.
Do you think we can put anything in budget for a surface on that this year, or do you wanna look at?
I'd let it
next year?
settle, yeah,
Okay.
let's see, let's set for a year and then maybe go and look at, put the cap on that.
Okay,
We've got a good list.
is this fork anything other than potentially dog
Well,
park?
yeah, let's,
Yeah, no, not yet, right? Do we look at putting basketball court or something like that in elsewhere too?
Well, we've got two, it's just fork.
I know, but
just one.
Yeah. Oh, we just want,
It's just one.
do you want to look at like Wildflower?
two tennis courts and then, are there,
Emerald Ridge.
I'm trying to remember,
Emerald
are there-
Ridge.
on the back of the tennis courts, are there hoops there?
Yeah, it's a full
Yeah,
court
it's a full-
basketball court.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we've heard from the kids play back there, and I asked them, you know, when they called up, I said, where would you rather? They said, well, we like being out here because we don't get complaints, we get loud.
Yeah.
They wouldn't mind seeing lights around it, but they
Yeah.
said, maybe
Can we look at putting lights out there? With the switch, you know, the button.
You'd be on a timer,
Yeah,
yeah.
just like we're-
Timer and button.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name, Emerald Ridge Park for the basketball?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good spot for a basketball courts there.
Or do you want to try to put pickleball out there?
I was even wondering, you know, up by Wildflower, since you have so many kids up
Yeah.
that direction, would that be
It
a
might be
good
more, yeah,
Okay.
Where would you put it?
up there.
You guys have 6 acres right there. You know where the pond is?
Yeah.
From that to the
I
tree
think
line
it
is park.
Oh.
It's over
The
6
city
acres,
park.
yeah, there's, that'd be probably a good spot for it.
Did you park there? So where you park?
They park along, you walk on the sidewalks there. Yeah, or you can, and there's some parking there, we have some frontage on both
Yeah,
sides.
we've got the street frontage in the cul-de-sac and all that.
But there's a lot of kids in that neighborhood that are running around usually.
A lot of new kids too, since it's all new
Yeah,
houses.
it's a lot.
So do you want to look at, what would,
Yeah. that would-
basketball,
that
or,
area.
I mean, do you think anybody playing pickleball yet up there, or?
I think the basketball would probably.
Is there anything, basketball, pickleball,
Well, I would say basketball.
lacrosse?
So now the kids play pickleball.
Lacrosse, we're putting that, Emerald Ridge is closest to your house, right?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Basketball court, wildfire?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think so.
Wildfires.
Because those aren't horribly expensive, right?
We'll find out. The lights may make it more expensive.
Diversified does basketball courts and stuff too, or basketball goals and stuff too.
Not sure.
It's in his catalog.
Is it?
Yeah. That's one we might reach out to.
I know right now, there's not a lot of teenagers in Wildflower. It's a lot of younger kids.
Are you in Wildflower?
Yeah.
Where you at?
Up the street from you.
I'm on the corner of Woodruff and Sunflower.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. But yeah, there's a,
Colin Corbin age at a ton.
yeah, there's a 9 to 8 to probably 12 or 13, there's,
I think her brother knows Colin.
I mean, just scads of kids.
Yeah,
But,
like,
And that's why I kind of wondered if maybe we put something like that out there.
well, that and too, when the other subdivision goes in next to us essentially, by the way it looked, because there's 3 dead ends that go towards that field. So essentially, I would assume that they would connect.
Yes.
So, but I mean, essentially, yeah, like you're talking about allocation for them to pay in a park fee.
Bingo.
Yeah. What's the park fee per house? Couple $100?
So,
Yeah,
I mean, you're
so
talking
much
about
a lot.
225 houses.
Yeah.
But
That pays
That'd be a
for
great way to get that park developed.
especially if you had access, you know, because they built that one house off of F.
I saw that.
What kind of frontage is there off of the highway where it could be just the pull-in parking slots, like, you know, it's like at the dam?
Well, once the road's ours, that's when we can start
Oh, okay.
looking at that, but I think we could probably, or we could even,
You probably not gonna move away though.
yeah, when you want to come in by the pond.
Yeah.
Or do we?
And that's even if you wanna come
What
in.
about on the backside of the cul-de-sac, where the road ends, we have the back, by the fence line? Is there any room there, or is it a house there?
In the cul-de-sac, it's basically the frontage of 2 lots is what we have in that cul-de-sac.
But when
Oh,
they,
between that first, all around the back.
There's that house kind of that was out by itself,
Right.
we're gonna
Yeah.
have the frontage between that and
Oh, okay.
and the neighbor.
yeah, pulling that off the F is
It
gonna
pulls-
would be tough.
Yeah,
I think we can keep it more focused on neighborhood park, and we'll work on the crosswalks and stuff,
Right.
the heights.
yeah,
Yeah, because you don't want to cross up at the corner anyway.
that's true.
But with it being a neighborhood park, I would know that off-street parking would be a.
We'll just put a sign,
Yeah.
put a sign in Jared's driveway, free parking.
There you go.
Basketball.
Put one of those cabinets up, and you just put the dollars in the slot.
Yeah. Good. Cool. I think that's good for us to have for our own position. If you guys have any budget, or if you guys have any agenda items for next month, get them to Danny and get it out there. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Good. I move that we adjourn.
Second motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
All opposed? Stand adjourned. Quick meeting. Night, everyone.